This is the story of Kashim, the Kanuri boy who was born to be like every other, but he refused to accept common fate, and so he sought knowledge. Day and night he did, and the search was not in vain. For today, his honor has grown as the man who has many prizes, and is the man who continues to walk the path that leads to a bright sunny day for him and for those around him, the man they call Kashim Shettima. 1966, the humble birth. Kashim Shettima Mustafa was born on the 2nd of September 1966. It was on a Friday. From the time he was born to the time he was about a month old, neighbors visited the new baby and his parents. His happy father received them in his modest compound. The visiting neighbors presented his mother with the Nigerian shillings and pounds, and they shared happy moments with them. Thus, his birth was celebrated in a humble but happy household of Shettima Mustafa in Maiduguri, northern Nigeria. Kashim's father was a very hard-working civil servant and also a teacher. His mother too was a teacher. His father was a collector of books, and he was a voracious reader. Everyone knew that you could hardly see him without a book in his hands. Being from a household where formal education mattered, Kashim was sent off to school in 1972. He was 6 years old. He was a very sharp boy in school and was quite popular amongst his classmates and in the school generally. He was that child that always had a little extra to share at break time. His parents knew how much he wanted to spread his goodies with friends, so they always packed the extras for him, which he happily gave to his friends. He was indeed loved by his family as well as his classmates. Young Kashim grew like any other child, but there was something special about him. He was very attentive and loved to help his mother with chores around the house, even without being told. No wonder he got the special attention and the occasional meat and food delicacies in the kitchen. Kashim loved reading and studying from a very tender age. It was not surprising. He was just like his father, who never seemed to be tired of collecting books upon books, and so he had a library at home. The father eventually took book collection as a venture later on in life, and he made a decent living from it. Kashim was a good boy who never got into trouble, and so he remained till he got into Government Community Secondary School, BU, in the southern part of Borno State in 1978. He was there till 1980 when he changed schools and transferred to Government Science Secondary School, Potiskum, now in neighboring Yobe State. While in secondary school, he was known to be a good influence to his friends and classmates. The Kanuri tribe loved animal husbandry and agriculture generally. His extended family owned some cattle, and Kashim made some money from helping the family tend to their animals. When other children spent their money on themselves and asked for more, Kashim saved some of his money and used it to solve problems for his friends whenever the need arose. He was a natural helper and problem solver. He was quite generous. As a secondary school student, he was known to have high standards. He would never take part in dangerous activities. Rather, he would measure the pros and cons of every situation and then decide on what to do. Kashim was that student who wanted to do something for everybody that came along his path. He got worried for other people, and he dreamt that one day he will be in a position to do more for people. Between 1984 and 1989, the Akadaman. Kashim Shettima proceeded to the University of Maiduguri after successfully doing well in the West African Examinations Council. He earned a BSc in Agricultural Economics in 1989. 1989 to 1990, Corps Kashim. For his compulsory 1 year of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, Kashim was posted to Calabar in Cross River State, South Nigeria, and he was there from 1989 to 1990. He quickly adapted to his new environment and made friends, some of whom are still very close to him today. He loved the local dishes and even tried to cook some in his quarters. He served at the now defunct Nigerian Agricultural Cooperative Bank. He loved being in the banking world, and the love for banking began to be in the center of his heart. His colleagues used to call him the corporate banker. It was a nickname he did not joke with. 1990 to 1991, the Ibadan Ball. Kashim wanted very much to see the whole of Nigeria and feel the very pulse of the nation in all forms. He was fascinated by the different cultures and people of Nigeria. He especially wanted to see Yoruba land and have new connections, so he chose the University of Ibadan for his master's degree. In 1990, after his NYSC in Calabar, he immediately enrolled at the University of Ibadan for his master's degree, and so he obtained an MSc in Agricultural Economics in 1991. Kashim Shettima joined the University of Maiduguri as a lecturer at the Department of Agricultural Economics. He was in the academia from 1991 to 1993. As a lecturer, he paid close attention to details and devised great teaching methods. He was one of the most organized lecturers at the university. And because he wanted everyone to be the best they could be, he would explain things in a way that was easy to understand. Old students of his describe him as a very nice and patient lecturer. From 1993 to 2007, the banker. Though he enjoyed his teaching career and experience, Kashim Shettima loved banking due to the exposure he had in the banking industry during his NYSC year. So when the opportunity arose for a change in career in 1993, he moved into the banking sector and was employed by now defunct Commercial Bank of Africa Limited as head of accounts unit at the bank's Ikeja, Lagos State office. Kashim was with the Commercial Bank of Africa till 1997 when he got a juicy job at the African International Bank Limited, where he was made the deputy manager. He rose to become the manager in 2001. With a swelling CV in the banking industry, Kashim Shettima moved to Zenith Bank in 2001 as the head of the main branch in Maiduguri. At Zenith Bank, he rose fast. He was at different times senior manager stroke branch head, assistant general manager, AGM zonal head, Northeast, deputy manager stroke zonal head, Northeast. 2007 to 2021, multiple political appointments, Honorable Commissioner times 5. As impressive as his banking career was, Kashim Shettima had to leave his general manager position in 2007 and became a political appointee. The political appointment came calling in his state, Borno. He was appointed as Commissioner for Finance and Economic Development. He was later to serve in different other ministries as a commissioner. He was in the ministries of local government and chieftaincy affairs, education, agriculture, and later health under the then Borno State Governor, Ali Modu Sherif, who incidentally was his predecessor. In all the places he worked, he was recognized as an all-rounder worker, stroke co-worker. He was appreciated and even teased as being someone who handled every task down to the smallest detail. He built structures and left big marks everywhere he found himself. Having served as commissioner in 5 ministries from 2007 to 2011, Kashim Shettima was ripe for an elective position. Thus, in February 2011, Shettima was elected as the candidate for his party, AMPP, and on the 26th of April 2011 elections, he won with 531,147 votes, while the opposition got 450,140 votes. He won re-election for a second term in office in the year 2015 under the All Progressives Congress (APC). He went on to become the chairman of the Northern States Governors Forum, an umbrella body of the governors in the 19 states located in northern Nigeria. An umbrella body of governors in the 19 states located in northern Nigeria. He performed his role well, as he was a driving key force in promoting northern unity and reviving ailing industries belonging to northern states. As the governor of Borno State, Shettima gave priority to education, where he built new schools, classrooms, and renovated old structures, provided many teaching aids, including computers, to schools all over the state. He established skills acquisition centers all over the state and empowered teachers and trainers. Health was given a vantage position in the scheme of priorities in the state. He built and established several general hospitals in the state and ensured that healthcare providers were very well taken care of. Borno State had the fortune of having good road networks during its time, and all other aspects of governance were well looked after. It was therefore a no-brainer when Kashim Shettima started getting laurels from everywhere. He emerged the 2014 Governor of the Year leadership newspapers, Governor of the Year Nigerian Union of Journalists national body, Governor of the Year 2015 Newswatch Times, Governor of the Year 2015 Vanguard newspapers, Governor of the Year 2016 Tel magazine, Zik Prize for Leadership 2017, Kaduna Nigeria Union of Journalists NUJ Award for Courage and Exceptional Leadership 2017, FCT NUJ Merit Award for Exceptional Leadership 2017. As governor, Kashim Shettima was described by the leadership of the Borno branch of the Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) as a detribalized leader. They described him as a selfless leader who ran the affairs of his administration for the benefit of all citizens. They continuously appreciated him for the tremendous support and assistance he rendered to the Christian community till he left office. The Christian community had their reasons for considering Shettima as a friend and a supporter. It was during his tenure as governor of Borno State that Christians were made to feel a sense of belonging. New Year and Christmas bonuses were introduced for pastors across the state during that period. Khan was also delighted with his selfless assistance in the sponsorship of several Christians to Jerusalem for pilgrimage. Kashim Shettima did not stop there. He appointed several Christians into his government, which many said never happened in the history of the state. One very grey area of Shettima's tenure was the insurgency of Boko Haram in the state, which he inherited in 2011 when he assumed office. He however rose to the occasion. As governor of Borno State, he efficiently managed challenges arising from the Boko Haram insurgency. Approval of the National Security Advisor and the Nigerian Army in 2013, his government formalized establishment of youth volunteers called Civilian JTF. The volunteers played and continue to play a very significant role in supporting the military in ongoing fights against Boko Haram insurgents. He approved salaries, kits, and patrol vehicles for the civilian JTF, while at the same time giving so much support to the Nigerian armed forces. He led the mobilization and community-based intelligence gathering and the provision of hundreds of patrol vehicles and material logistics to the military in particular and to all other security agencies. In September 2014, Maiduguri, the seat of government, became very vulnerable to being occupied by insurgents. The fear was so intense that notable residents relocated their families to Abuja. However, amid such fright, then Governor Kashim Shettima, who was out of the country for an official assignment, returned to Maiduguri in a show of courage and patriotism. On his return, the governor mobilized residents towards rising up in defense against banditry. Although Maiduguri didn't fall, the insurgents succeeded in occupying 20 out of the 27 local government areas of the state before the Nigerian Armed Forces liberated them between 2015 and 2016. And Kashim Shettima cried many times. In fact, on one occasion with the then President Buhari, he cried openly. As a man who wouldn't allow Boko Haram defeat him and the state, Kashim Shettima provided temporary accommodation, rehabilitation, and resettlement of victims of the Boko Haram insurgents. He made reconstruction, rehabilitation, and resettlement of victims a major task. He focused attention on expansion and remodeling of existing schools and the building of new boarding primary and secondary schools to cater for the over 50,000 unaccompanied orphans whose parents were killed by insurgents across the 27 local government areas of the state. After 2 terms of 8 years of moving Borno State to national and international recognition, he bowed out of office and ran for the Borno Central Senatorial District, and in February 2019, he became the winner in the election. In 2023, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu selected Senator Kashim Shettima as his running mate for the 2023 presidential election. And on the 1st of March 2023, when Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu was confirmed by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) as the winner of the presidential election, Kashim Shettima became the vice president-elect of Nigeria. Both were sworn in on the 29th of May 2023. Kashim Shettima immediately assumed office after taking the oath of office on the 29th of May 2023, where he is overseeing the economic planning team and reports, as well as making recommendations to his boss, the president, who takes the final decisions. Honors, Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, GCON, 25th of May 2023. Unknown to many, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, though of the Kanuri extraction, has a son who is Igbo. The son, Paul Ojukwu from Anambra State, was adopted by Shettima, who has always seen himself as more of a Nigerian than a Kanuri man. Shettima went to buy some electronics gadgets at a shopping center when he met Paul, who was a salesman. After interactions, Shettima realized that Paul's WAEC result was even better than his, and so he told Paul about the values of education. After that, he got Paul into the prestigious Base University Abuja for his BSc in software engineering and later a master's degree in software engineering. Kashim Shettima was the father of Paul at the wedding to a girl from Taraba State, whose father is the Commissioner of Justice and Attorney General of the state. Paul will soon come out with a PhD in software engineering from a university in the United Kingdom. In all of this, not once has Shettima looked at tribe or religion. He is driven by love and the desire to make the world around him a better place. Kashim Shettima is a family man. He got married to his wife Haji Anana Shettima in 1998, and they have 3 biological children, a man they call Kashim Shettima.